minutes till 10:30. We're going to start right at 10:30 because we are streaming this into all of our classrooms right now. So our teachers are prepared to start right at 10:30. So in about 3 minutes.
Welcome to our Veterans Day program honoring our Eaton High School community veterans. We would like to dedicate this year's service to our social studies teacher and veteran who passed away last year, Mr. James Klein. Please remove any hats and stand for a moment of silence as the colors are presented. We do this to honor those who have served our country. Please stay standing while the colors are presented. Thank you, color guard, and thank you, choir. You may now be seated. Now welcome our principal, Miss Stacy Miles.
Good morning. Thank you to our veterans and family members joining us today. We're very grateful for this opportunity to come together as a school and a community to honor the sacrifices of our veterans and show our appreciation for the freedoms we enjoyed because of your service. At this time, I would ask that any of our EHS staff that are with us, please stand today, our staff veterans. Thank you. Also, as you heard Cannon say, we are dedicating this year's ceremony to Mr. James Klein, our social studies teacher and veteran who passed away last year. I'd like to recognize his wife and children that are with us today. Ms. Klein, Haley, thank you. And now, our host for the ceremony, our student, Cannon Stepp, will get us started.
In November of 1919, President Woodrow Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day, following the words, "To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service, with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it yet has freed us and because the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of nations." This year, our English department at Easton High School asked the junior students the question, "What does Veterans Day mean to you?" Students responded with artwork, poetry, letters, and essays. We have chosen 3 of our students to share their responses with you that we feel that best exemplify the true spirit of Veterans Day. Our first tribute is from Olivia Glassman.
Hi, my name is Olivia Lassman, like Cannon said, and this year I wrote a poem about Veterans Day, specifically about how it's about the veterans, because I think recently a lot of people treat it as just another holiday when that's really not what it's for. So here's my poem titled, "It's Veterans Day." It's Veterans Day, we're told year after year, where we're expected to smile and expected to cheer. It's Veterans Day, so students bow their heads and close their eyes, though they fail to comprehend, because it's Veterans Day. It's nothing new, just all the same speeches with all the same crew. It's Veterans Day, but recently during this event, we've lost sight of its core, the people for which it's meant. Because on Veterans Day, the point is not the assemblies, it's not this poem, it's not even the grand pep rallies. It's for the veterans. Not for the spectacle of the day, but for those who have toiled and for those who have been sent away. It is for the veterans who have been faced with fear and yet did not back down, but remained faithful and clear. And it is for the veterans who for us have fought and yet did not back down. Sorry, messed up. A debt not one of us can measure, a debt so large it can't even be thought. So this Veterans Day, we must all take special care to remember the real reason behind it, the men and women who were brave enough to dare. Because it is not just another holiday or an excuse to skip class. It is for the people, it is for the veterans, because it is Veterans Day.
Our next tribute is from Ava Tripathi.
Hi everyone, my name is Ava Tripathi and I'm a junior here at VR Eaton, and this is my speech on what Veterans Day means to me. I offer my dearest and most sincere thank you to all veterans for the sacrifices made in order to serve this country we call home. Each and every veteran has a story unique to their experiences. The trials and tribulations they face resonate with us as we learn to value the importance of their contribution. I believe that we must take a step back and truly show our appreciation. We may have discounts and recognitions and an entire holiday dedicated to veterans, but it's not enough. It's imperative that we make our way back to what really matters and listen to their stories. Whether you have a veteran in your family or simply run into one, we must listen to their stories. Take the time to speak to them. When did they serve? What was it like for them? Ask what branch they were in, the locations they were assigned, and what they did during those years. Most importantly, question why they served. This only deepens our authenticity of appreciation as we become educated on the service that we're thanking them for. Don't let these stories get lost and die out. Instead, we must put emphasis on reaching out and offering our time and attention to acknowledge their history. As a first-generation American, I cannot fully express the gratitude that I feel to grow up in a society where I can experience the freedoms and benefits of living in the United States. Veterans Day to me is an opportunity to commemorate the men and women that have fought for the people, our people, and left a mark on the world. Living or dead, each and every contribution matters and holds weight in our society. As Americans, we must acknowledge the privilege of living here. We should not take our freedoms for granted. Countries all over the world are struggling to get by, while we get to live under a democracy that protects each and every individual. Regardless of your opinion on this nation, it is our home, and veterans have fought to continuously improve our livelihood. Veterans are incredibly selfless, considering the fact that they left everything behind and put their own lives on the line for the protection of our nation. They deserve our unconditional love and support after years of serving. Looking back at history, many veterans were greeted with disrespect at the arrival following the end of a war, whether it was World War I, II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, whatever it was. This disrespect is still seen today and needs to be stopped. Veterans deserve the utmost respect and recognition, not only to those who previously served, but those currently in our military as well. These men and women face many unique challenges, and when they return, they are a source of pride for us. We can never repay them for their service and sacrifice, so the value of Veterans Day shines through when we have a chance to show our gratitude. Thank you.
And our last tribute is from Faye Duran.
Hi, I'm Faye, and I did this watercolor of my dad on the North Pole. This piece is of my dad on the North Pole, and he was a submariner during his time in the Navy, and he was an electrician on both of the boats he was on. I wanted to do this, there was something with my dad in it, since he is a veteran and he became a teacher with his GI Bill, and because he's such a big part of my life, and because I appreciate what he's done for me and with his service. Thank you.
Okay, we can get one more round of applause for all of those wonderful tributes. Now, our own aviation teacher and veteran, Mr. Jeff Nees, will join me as a special guest. So, will you introduce yourself?
My name is Jeffrey Neves. I'm a C-130 crew chief in the Air National Guard out at Carswell, and I'm teaching aviation here at VRE High School.
Okay, so we have a few questions for you. So, when did you first join the military? After high school? Was it not an event?
Yes, I first entered into the Texas Air National Guard down in Houston at Ellington Field. And that was in 2002, 2003 when I first entered. 9/11 was a significant event for me, making me want to enter.
Do you come from a military family?
I do come from a military family. That's actually what drove me to enter into the military myself. My family, the military's been big since the Revolutionary War. I've had men in my family who have served in every major conflict.
Yeah. And how does your military experience affect your everyday life today?
I wouldn't be teaching aviation if it wasn't for my military experience. They gave me all of the training that I needed working on C-130s. I've been able to bring that here. They provided the education. They've given me the funds to go to college, to get my degree, to become a teacher. And so I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for the military.
What commitments do you have being in the Air National Guard? Could you be deployed?
Yeah, definitely could be deployed. They like to say it's 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year kind of thing, but it's not quite that. It's significantly more than that, actually. I have deployed several times. Sometimes I've deployed at home for like Hurricane Katrina, for example. When that hit, I was down in the convention center for that. I've gone overseas to the Middle East. I've gone to Canada and built a hockey rink for the Royal Air Force. So you can do all kinds of different things in the National Guard.
And our last question today is, what is the biggest lesson you've taken away from your service over the years?
Hurry up and wait. Patience, I think, is a pretty big one with the military. I'll just leave it at that. Hard work, grit, determination. It's not easy. Passion is another one. I've given up birthdays, Christmases, Thanksgivings, but I have a passion for it, and that's what keeps me going and keep doing it. So.
All right, thank you. At this time, we would like to recognize each branch of the military with the Armed Forces Salute. You will hear the song for each military branch. When you hear the song, if you or a family member has served, past or present, please stand and be recognized. II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Persian Gulf War, and the War on Terrorism. Now, will any of our seniors in classrooms or here in the back with us stand if you've committed to a branch of the United States military? Thank you all for your service. Thank you to all of our veterans for their service to our country. Although not every veteran has seen battle, every veteran has spent time serving our country. The sacrifice they have made for our country is so great. Please stand while our Associate Band Director, Mr. Williams, taps as we retire the colors. Thank yous to the people who made this happen. Ms. Melinda Dodd for coordinating the video content and our streaming program. Mr. Jason Williams for coordinating our program and his musical tribute. Ms. Kristen Stockard for arranging the presentation of colors and the flower tributes for our EHS veterans. Ms. Marcy Min for communication and coordination of our reception and ceremony. Ms. Maggie Wright for the coordination of our ASL students. Mr. David Fernandez for coordinating the orchestra. Ms. Tony Brown for coordinating all the art, or Mr. Tony Brown for coordinating all the art and teacher door tributes. I don't know that one, my bad. Ms. Ray G. Johnson for coordinating our student tributes. Mr. Joel Roberts for coordinating our choir. And last but not least, Ms. Zeski with Stuco for coordinating our student greeters. I'm very sorry if I butchered any names. This concludes our program today. For our guests in the pack, we will now play a tribute to those community members and staff members who submitted photos. Please feel free to stay and enjoy the tribute. Thank you all for coming out today.